Folks. Hey folks. I'm doing a little segment today. It's called 21 Questions. Get to know me. All right, number one. What's a moment in your life that completely changed your direction? Well, I feel like right this year I've been going through a huge shift in my life. I was in a relationship for 2.5 years, and through that, I've gone through such a huge shift, both mentally and physically. It's funny how people come into your life, how they can impact you so much. And going through that, I look at myself and I really cannot believe how much change I've undergone, just in my beliefs, just in my habits and patterns. And um, it's interesting when you move through this world and you grow as a human being, and what that looks like on the other side. Number two, what's something most people don't know about you? I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition called ulcerative colitis back in 2008. And it's something that I've kept private for many years. But recently I had a colonoscopy done, and the colonoscopy showed that I've been in clinical remission. So I'm at this stage where I'm more willing to share my story in the hopes that it inspires somebody that's going through such a terrible condition like that. Number three, what's a belief you used to hold that you've outgrown? Abundance. I have such a much better idea of abundance when it comes to monetary career. I'm a freelancer and I'm a video editor, and I've been affected by all the stuff that's been going on with AI most recently. And I've tried to shift my career into more of a content creator. I started off with TikTok and I've grown my following to about 1,000 followers. But when I look at ways to make money online, be it through digital downloads, YouTube, Etsy, affiliate marketing, I feel like the sky's the limit. And that has been a huge shift for me in terms of my belief. Number four, what has been your biggest personal transformation in the last year? Just how I would say how I feel about myself, how I show up in the world, my confidence, um, who Miles is. I mean, I've come out of an illness out of 17 years, and I think people are beginning to finally see my aura. People are beginning to finally see the real Miles, the most authentic Miles, and I'm not afraid to hide it. I'm not afraid to um, put it out there. And I think people appreciate that because I'm not trying to act or be like anybody else. Number five, what's one lesson you learned the hard way? I would say just going through a relationship and meeting somebody and understanding that that person was not right for me, and understanding that um, you know there's people come into your life for specific reasons, and when you think it's for a reason to grow or to help you become a better human being. Like, I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn by moving on from somebody. Number six, what is something that grounds you when you feel life feels chaotic? I would say probably my Buddhist practice. I have been practicing Buddhism since 2009, and I chant every morning and evening. And when I chant, I try to get in rhythm, get in sync with the universe. And sometimes that is like focusing on, you know, dealing with like life challenges, dealing with things that are kind of like problems and obstacles and this sort of thing. And so when you have that determination that you can win all the time, then you start, um, showing up like that in the world. How would you describe your personal style in three words? I would say trendy. No, not trendy. I would say like eclectic, unique, and a lot of like flair and bravado. What's your favorite way to spend a day off? I have been working for like the last month every day. I haven't had any weekends off. I'm on this project with this new client out of Chicago, And the other day I went mountain biking, and I just enjoy just being out in nature. I enjoy being out in nature. I enjoy, being out in the woods and getting exercise in and getting sun. And it's mountain biking has been um, a new hobby that I absolutely love. Who or what inspires your creative direction right now? Not anybody specific, but I see art on Pinterest. I see lately I've been trying to go on Pinterest and creating boards that are relative to the month that I'm in, and then I've been trying to do visualization based off that. But it's probably been Pinterest, and I went to a gallery night in Milwaukee last Friday, and that was really fun. Seeing art that's inspired me, and it's actually it's inspired me to want to create more art. What's a quote or saying that really resonates with you? Winter always turns to spring. Winter always turns to spring means that if you're going through any obstacle or challenge, know that it will eventually change. Things will improve. It's not finite. It's not forever. Number 11, what's something you've been healing from or working through lately? It's pretty obvious, but I had been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis back in 2008, and I did a colonoscopy about a couple of weeks ago, and it turns out I'm in clinical remission. And I believe um, everything is through divine timing, and I'm really beginning to understand my journey, because when I was in the thick of it, when I was suffering, when I was going through personal hell, I would always be like, why do I have to go through this? Like, what? Not playing victim, but just not understanding like my journey. And to be 42 and to kind of be in this new stage of life where I'm healed and I have all this vitality is just so fucking exciting. Number 12, if you could live anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why? Well, I love California. I mean, California is such a beautiful state. I'm so inspired by it. The mountains, the ocean, the redwood trees, Southern California, Northern California. It's all beautiful. Although I love the second season of White Lotus, and watching that show take place in Sicily was beautiful. Like, I was so inspired by Italy, and it's such a beautiful country. Number 13, what's your current morning ritual or routine? It's pretty robust. It's like I wake up, I usually will get a workout in. I work out from home. I have a box and a couple of weights. And then I'll chant. I usually chant for about, half an hour. And then if I have time, I'll try to do a journal entry. And then I'm just sort of getting ready and getting on with my day, making coffee, having breakfast. But it's very regimented. And, when I get down to my morning routine, it's just very sort of dialed in. I'm very serious about it. Number 14, what's a dream project or collaboration you'd love to do? I've seen some stuff that Casey Neistat has done for certain brands, and he's come up with these really cool ideas of working with like Nike and like Mercedes Benz. And that would be kind of cool to do like some art direction for a big brand like that. If they were willing to give me complete creative control. I don't know what brand specifically, but something like that would be cool. Number 15, what's one thing your younger self would be proud of you for today? The fact that I didn't give up, the fact that I kept showing up even when I didn't see any progress in my healing, the fact that I have gone through such a challenging year and I never bitched or complained. I always sort of kept putting one foot in front of the next. And it just shows how tough and how much grit I have. Number 16, if someone only knew you from social media, what might they get wrong about you? How can this guy be so happy? How can you be so damn joyful when you have when you've gone through so much, problems with your body and your illness, and still begin to show up and not complain? I mean, I think that's probably one of the things they would be confused by. Number 17, what's one skill you're actively trying to get better at right now? Being on camera, doing social media, growing my TikTok brand, like growing this platform, growing this personal brand, trying to put out informative, educational, valuable content. That's really what I'm trying to work on. Buying, getting gear. Like I need to buy like a better mic system, more tripods, more lights. Number 18, what's a piece of advice that stuck with you through hard times? Honestly, just to have faith and take action. And keep doing that when things aren't when the needle isn't moving. And I always tell people it's really just faith and showing up, because I sort of feel like you go through chapters in your life and then you start to receive blessings and manifestations. And that has been sort of my anchor in life, of just keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and you're going to get to that next level. What's your love language and how do you like to show it? I think the last time I checked, it was all based off of like being acknowledged, being sort of, I don't know what that's called, but feeling like, uh, like grateful, or just like somebody to show appreciation for the other person. And I also like gifts too. Gifts are always nice. Um, Number 20, what's something you want to be remembered for? Just like a really kind person, somebody that really was supportive to other people, and somebody that gave back and ultimately tried to serve humanity. And number 21, finally, if your life right now had a soundtrack, what song would be playing? There's a song at the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's called March of the Swivelheads, and it's by the English Beat, and it just has a very upbeat sort of like climax or whatever. And I love that song. A lot of times I'll be in my car and I'll put it on, I'll jam out to it, and it's just one of those things that really picks up my spirits. And I sort of feel like I'm at that point in my life right now where things are just like this roller coaster ride, and I'm like, okay, where is my life going to take me? Where's this going to go? And it's exciting. It sort of feels like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really excited to see my 40s and see what happens through this decade.